All rise for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to
the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Alvarez.
Present.
Councilman Cypress.
Here.
Councilman Larka.
Here.
Councilman O'Connor.
Here.
Supervisor Head.
Here. Rotation of exits in the front and the rear. Electronic device, please put it on vibrate. I make a motion to go into the public hearing, preliminary budget 2024.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Waive the reading of the public hearing notice.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is anyone here tonight to speak to the 2024 preliminary budget of Taunton Southeast? Seeing none, I'll move to close it and keep the comment open period for 5 days.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
First item on the work session, discussion, Highway Department purchase of special equipment. Mike?
As I'm sure you're all aware, we're having a really hard time with equipment, purchasing equipment. Years ago, it was just a very easy thing. You order it early in the year, you get it, I ordered a truck in March of 2022 and I still haven't received it. It's just the environment that we're dealing with right now is really hard. So basically what's gonna have to happen, we're gonna have to get stuff approved, and we're really not gonna know what budget cycle it's gonna come out of, because I just don't know when we're gonna get it, when the availability is gonna get to us. I just want to make you aware of that. I'm going to put a package together, present it to the town board for, the future purchases, what the plan is going forward. It's just it's a really tough time right now for budgeting to try to figure out, and the price of vehicles is escalating so fast that if we don't start doing something now, it's in the next couple of years, it's going to be, it's going to end up costing, thousands of dollars more for everything that we purchase. So I think it's, wise that we get on, I'll get a proposal together, what the next, 2 to 3 years purchase-wise will be. And then we'll have an understanding of where we're going in the future. I think financially, we shouldn't have to borrow any money. We shouldn't have to bond any money for any of these purchases. I think we can, the way we've been doing it, I think we can continue to purchase everything without having to go for a bond, which is something I'm striving for. I'd like to try not to borrow any money if we can help it. On another note, road improvements. I know that there's been talk. Guinea Road is just an absolute nightmare, because of this one section of road. I think we're really going to have to try to start moving forward with getting a plan together to widen that one section of the road where it's so dangerous. Even two cars can't pass there. It's been an ongoing problem, and I think with the increase in traffic now, it's just been, we get constant phone calls about that section of the road. And then also Pugsley Road, we really, we're gonna have to, I'm gonna put the plan together for doing the road improvements after logistics is done for that section from wherever they ended to the Patterson town line. So those are a couple big projects that I want to, get on the agenda so we, everybody knows going forward. Those are the two big things that we're really, the highway department is hoping to get accomplished, in the next couple of years. Any questions?
Mike, I had a few quick questions.
Okay.
When you purchase a vehicle, you don't have to pay up front. You just put a deposit down or something?
Actually, I just signed a letter of commitment.
Oh, okay.
And what it is once I sign that letter of commitment, then the price is locked in, and that's the whole key to
Okay.
doing this. And then the cost of equipment that goes onto these trucks is just, the escalation cost has just got, every day the quotes are lasting for 30 days now, where they used to last much longer. They would last 6 months or a year. Now the quotes are lasting for 30 days. So, you know, you have to quote it, get it on order, and sign a letter of intent to purchase, and then, you know, we can lock in on a price.
Okay, for Guinea Road, do we have to get land to improve that?
I don't think so. What we have to do is get permission from we're gonna have to get permission from Kinsley's, the people that own, Kinsley's doesn't own the property.
Right.
So we're gonna have to get permission from the property owner to access the property to do the work.
Okay,
Because I can't really take the guardrail down. You know, I could do the work from the road, but if I take the guardrail down and I try to do the work from the road, I'm gonna have to shut the road down because there's no way I could make it safe every night. So it's,
so we
You
don't
know,
need the land, you just need that.
I don't think we need the land. I looked at the survey and I think that we can go right to the property line and, you know, we'll be able to gain probably 5 or 6 feet in road width there, which would be, you know, a huge improvement over what's there now.
Yeah,
And then I met with Salinger's today, and they own the property from Kinsley's all the way up to Salinger's Orchard, so any road improvement that we need to do there, we have enough room, we also have enough room on their side that we'll be able to, you know, make any of the road improvements.
okay,
So it'll end up being only really one bad spot, right on the North Salem southeast line where there's a house that's right close to the road. That's the only place that we won't be able to do any mitigation for that, to fix that.
and then just one more quick question for Pugsley, there was some talk of the county maybe taking that over, is that dead?
Yeah, I don't think you know, I mean, I don't think the county's gonna jump on the bandwagon there. The reason why I'm pushing this forward right now is there's quite a bit of earthwork that needs to be done there to get to the, you know, wide enough so we can get cars in there. And I've spoke to the Patillo, the contractor that's on the site now. They have to do work in that area. So I'm trying to get, right now I'm working with them to get a price on, you know, how much it would cost for them to do this earthwork in this short period of time. Because, you know, they would be able to do it so much quicker and so much more efficient than us, because their equipment is so big that they'll be able to do that,
Okay.
that section right through there pretty quick.
Okay, thank you.
All right? Yep.
Any other questions? Okay, item number 2, discussion, local law to replace chapter 78 of the town code, freshwater wetlands. You participated in some of the hearings down there with the staff meetings on these?
Not that I recall.
No, okay. I thought you had
I may
gone.
have, may have forgotten.
So it's a recommendation from the planning board to, you know, make these changes. Does anyone have any comment on it that we need to check on or anything?
I thought Will had suggested that we have somebody come to this meeting. If that's not gonna happen, that's fine. I'll just
No, but-
reach out to Ashley or Tom on my own, but, because it's not clear what's changing in those documents, because it's like a new document, that's all.
They did it as a repeal and replace, but the only substantive changes are they're establishing, as I understand it, an administrative permit for smaller wetland incursions to accommodate, you know, people who are trying to improve their properties, but you know, abut a mapped wetland, and rather than having to go through the whole wetland procedures that now have to go before the planning board, it would allow the wetlands inspector to look at the nature and extent of the project and issue an administrative permit rather than having the planning board rule on all the permits.
Okay, thank you.
But this is scheduled for public hearing on the 9th of November. I think what my suggestion was to maybe have either Ashley or someone, maybe the wetlands inspector, whoever had the impetus for these amendments, to be here to answer
For that, yeah,
questions.
that makes more sense to be
Yeah.
at that meeting.
To make answer your questions as well as any public questions that
Yep,
may come
yep,
up.
thank you.
Any other comment? Discussion can local law to amend chapter 119, 138 of protection of trees, and we'll do the same thing for that coming up at the public hearing, which we'll approve this. We already approved that public hearing, right, Will?
Both public hearings have been put in the paper.
Advertised.
They'll be published on the 1st.
Right, okay. Okay, make a motion to go into the regular portion of the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, waive the reading of the correspondence.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 3, budget transfers. Waive the reading of budget transfers. Oh, wait, sorry.
Nope.
Voucher list was first. Correspondence of voucher, approval of the voucher list, $828,189.11. So moved.
Second.
Seconded?
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
3, waive the reading of the budget transfers. Number 4, setting meeting dates and public hearings. All meetings will be held at 1360 Route 22, Brewster, New York, at 7 p.m. unless otherwise noted. Thursday, November 9, 2023. Thursday, November 30, 2023. So moved.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Number 5, we had a presentation last meeting about the Copland House, a special permit. Will, would you like to read that for us, please?
Actually, it was a presentation, it was a public hearing, but this would be a resolution which, if adopted, would grant the special permit on condition. Does somebody want to move the resolution, and I'll read it?
Okay. Now, I just want to make one change prior to, I got a call from their engineer today, and he asked that number 3 on page 2, the residential structure located at 105 Feather Hill Road shall be used as a permanent residence for the on-site caretaker, manager, and/or maintenance personnel, and for no other purpose. They were asking that to be removed.
That was not what was in the statement of use.
So leave it the way it is, or?
Well, that was our understanding,
Oh.
that the house across the street from where the old Melrose School was going to be a residence for the caretaker.
Nope, we got a last-minute call.
And that's in their, it's in their statement of use, which is on file with the planning board.
Nope, at this point in time, read it in and let them come back and make the change later on if necessary.
Or if you want to just table it, and we'll take it up on the next meeting. But I don't know why they're changing their statement of use, because we specifically reference the statement of use in this document.
Well, if we table it, can that hold them up from closing?
I'm sure it will.
Could we then approve it and have them amend it afterwards? What would be the difference? Well, I know what the difference is, but why would it be worse to approve this and then have them, petition to change it at some point?
Well, they would be at risk that this board or a future board will not agree to the change in the special permit condition.
If we tabled it and they requested that change, would it have to go back to the planning board?
Well, my feeling is if they say in their statement of use that they intend to use that structure across the street from where the school structure is as a residence for the caretaker, they would have to go back to the planning board.
Yeah. So I'm just wondering what your thoughts are of approving this now, so if they want or need to move forward with some of the other stuff they've proposed, they can, and then revisit this piece.
I don't think I'm following you, but I just reflected in this resolution what was represented by the property owner through their engineers.
Right, but this is just one piece of the whole resolution, right?
It is one of the conditions.
Oh, one of the conditions. So if they're like contract bendy and they need approval to do what they want, aside from this, if we approve this, then they can close. If we don't approve this, they potentially cannot close. They would have to go through a whole new review process. So if we approve it now and they decide to move forward, then they would have to re-petition to go through this whole process again to change this piece?
They would. They'd have to, make an application to amend the special permit.
And that would be, is that a more complicated process to do if we table it or if we approve it? My question's probably not clear, but.
No, I think I can't speak to the complication of it. I mean, there's a process.
Would the process be?
It wouldn't be any different.
It wouldn't be any different either
No.
way?
That'd be a new public hearing too, Will?
I'm sorry?
Would that be a new public hearing as well?
We would probably have to have another public hearing.
So I would think, personally, I don't think I'd want to table it. I would approve it since it's a last minute change, and if they need to make changes for their use, then, let them do that.
Or maybe they'll decide not to,
Yeah.
once they hear the process.
Right.
That's certainly your prerogative. I mean, you're saying approve the.
As is.
As you wrote
With the
it.
conditions as represented.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do that, and I'll
I
inform
would
you
do that.
tomorrow.
What?
I would do that.
Yeah. As long as there's no downside.
It's really not to the town. I mean, I don't know how it's going to affect their, the Copeland House Foundation's position with their contract, but
I'm just, there's no downside, whether we approve it now or table it, like us approving it isn't going to negatively impact them.
I can't speak to that because I was not involved in their contract negotiations.
Okay.
I guess move forward.
Yeah,
Go for it.
I would approve it, or I would not table it.
I'll talk to Paul Lynch tomorrow and tell him what went on and have him contact you, Will.
Are we not going to take this up now?
We are, yes.
We are, okay. So who's moving it, and I'll be
I'll
more
move
than
it.
happy to read it.
I'll move it.
Okay. Now therefore be it resolved, the town board of the town of Southeast hereby makes the following findings of fact in connection with the instant application. The proposed use is in such location and is a size and character that it will be in harmony with the appropriate and orderly development of the surrounding district and will not be detrimental to the immediate site or adjacent properties, provided appropriate conditions and restrictions are made made a part of the grant of the special permit. 2, the location and size of the proposed use, the nature and intensity of operations involved in or conducted in connection therewith, its site layout, its relation to access streets will be such that both pedestrian and vehicular traffic to and from the use and the assembly of the persons in connection therewith will not be hazardous, provided appropriate conditions and restrictions are made a part of the grant of a special permit. 3, the exterior appearance will not hinder or discourage the development and use of adjacent land and buildings as the applicant has not sought to modify the exterior appearance of the subject premises. 4, the proposed use will not require such additional public facilities or services or create fiscal burdens upon the town greater than those which characterize uses permitted as of right. And be it further resolved that based upon the foregoing findings, the town board of the town of Southeast hereby grants a special use permit to Copeland House Foundation to use and occupy the subject premises as a live, work, learn facility for musicians and other performance artists, quote, artists in residence, unquote, incorporating administrative offices, indoor and outdoor public performance space, and associated parking in connection in accordance with the statement of use, last revised 8/30/2023, and written responses from applicants' professional advisors filed in connection with the underlying site plan application and hereby incorporated herein by reference upon the following conditions. 1, the portion of the subject premises located at 100-120 Federhood Road and the structures located thereon shall be used for administrative offices for Copeland House, private studio and practice space, audio and video recording and production facilities, public performance space, indoor and outdoor, temporary housing, kitchen and dining facilities for artists and residents, and associated parking and for no other purpose, provided, however, that portions of the subject premises, i.e. event space, may be made available to other community cultural organizations and activities on a non-regular, limited time basis, provided that each such use does not violate the spirit of this special use permit or any of the specific conditions contained herein. 2, there shall be no more than 15 artists in residence on the subject premises at any one time. All residential facilities and performance spaces shall be finished, maintained and occupied in compliance with the provisions of New York State and local building and fire prevention codes. 3, the residential structure located at 105 Federal Hill Road shall be used as a permanent residence for the on-site caretaker, manager, and/or maintenance personnel and for no other purpose. 4, the existing, quote, modular classroom, unquote, structures located on the 100-120 Federal Hill Road portion of the subject premises shall be removed therefrom within 120 days of the applicant taking title to the subject premises. 5, indoor events which are open to the public shall not be conducted past 11 p.m. on any given day. All outdoor events or performances shall not be conducted past 9:30 p.m. on any given day and shall not use any amplification or public address system unless a permit in each instance has first been obtained in accordance with the provisions of Chapter 96 of the Town Code. 7, all public events, indoor and outdoor, shall be limited to no more than 130 persons, not including performers and employees, in attendance at any given time, unless conducted in compliance with the large event management plan submitted to and approved by the planning board. The applicant shall notify the town building department in writing not less than 30 days in advance of any planned event expected to accommodate more than 130 attendees. No event shall be held on the subject premises if attendance exceeds 200 persons, not including performers and employees. 8, in addition to all other rights of inspection and enforcement provided to a municipality by statute or common law, as a specific condition to this grant of special permit, the town of Southeast building inspectors and fire inspectors shall be permitted to enter upon the buildings and grounds of the subject premises periodically at reasonable times and at reasonable intervals to inspect the condition of the subject premises in compliance with the conditions of this special permit and all applicable building, fire prevention, and occupancy codes, rules, and regulations. And be it further resolved, the planning board is hereby directed to continue necessary site plan review and that any final determination will continue to, with regard to such site plan, shall incorporate all provisions of this grant of special permit. And be it further resolved, the town clerk is hereby authorized and directed to provide a certified copy of this resolution to the secretary of the planning board and to the representatives of the applicant forthwith. Discussion.
Discussion?
Was there a
Roll call.
second?
No, not yet.
I'll
second. Was it? Okay. Roll call vote? No need for roll call
Who
vote?
seconded it?
Ed,
I did.
Okay.
I'm fine.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, supervisors report. The budget season's over. We're heading toward 2024. I guess the biggest change this year, now, is the court revenues. Since COVID, they have really gone off the chart. They were consistently around the 350 mark. During COVID, it got up to 900 one year, following year 1.2, and we're now in the direction it was previous to that, into the high threes possibly. So other than that, most of the revenue projections and costs have remained the same.
When we talked to Ron, I think we had a catch-up payment for the courts this year, I think he was saying, to the state. So hopefully it won't be as bad next year.
Yeah, but the worst thing was during, they allowed pay by mail, which is something I think should be done all the time because it ease up a lot
best
that
thing,
goes on here in the court.
Yeah.
And to go from 350 to $1 million is pretty tough to budget, but we hung in there a bit, but right now we're kind of paying the slowdown. So we'll see what happens. It's a guessing game to our best guess.
Yep.
Recognition of the public. Town board.
I have no updates.
We'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to close tonight's meeting.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.